This year, I went from working a part-time job that I didn't love, being a recent graduate with an art degree but no direction, to building 7 passive and active income streams just from my laptop, just from my art and my authenticity, including YouTube monetization and self-publication with digital products. And these income streams allowed me to spend the last month abroad in Bali and still be able to make money while I was there. And you can do this too. I'm going to tell you how. Before we start, as always, I'm cleansing the space with Luz. Now you may be wondering, why does this girl have flowers all over her? It is Halloween. I'm filming this on Halloween, so you will be getting advice from a flower fairy spirit today. And that's just that. Basically, what I did and what I encourage other artists and creatives and aspiring entrepreneurs to do is I basically monetized my authenticity. I started off with just an Etsy shop. That's something I always wanted to do as a visual artist. And I started off just selling handmade goods, earrings, jewelry, sculptures, and it evolved from there. I also always wanted to start a YouTube channel, so I started my YouTube channel. All of this I started in January is when I was like, okay, I'm fully committing, I'm fully going all in, and I started working towards YouTube monetization. Part of my authenticity is being an artist, something I'm deeply passionate about, creating fairy-like art style aesthetic, and so I began selling my physical art, my ideas for fairy core jewelry and decor, but that was still trading my time for money essentially. And so as I went across my journey and I did more research and stumbled across more ways to make money, I realized that on Etsy not only can you sell physical goods, but you can sell digital products. So I stumbled down this rabbit hole of learning about digital products and ways to make passive income, and I realized within my research that you can monetize any skill that you have. Any skill that you have, you can monetize that. And so I went down the list of all the things that I could do. I built my audience and my YouTube channel off of things that I love, things that I will never get tired of, things that don't feel like work. And so I was like thinking about digital products, skills that I could monetize, things that I could teach people. And so I learned for myself the things that I feel that I'm really good at is mindset, sharing with people how to heal and how to navigate and overcome certain circumstantial challenges and still manifest and take control over your state of being. I'm passionate about artwork, illustration, and I'm passionate about social justice. And so that's kind of what I built my offers around. So I created my first digital product, my ebook Artist Alchemy, and it's pretty specific. It is in a pretty sought after niche, which is healing, spirituality, wellness, growth, self-help, and I folded in my own passion, which is art. So I use that book to teach people how to use art to heal, to manifest as inner work, and to further fold into my niche and to further narrow down my target audience. It is geared towards first generation artists and entrepreneurs and neurodivergent and women and creatives and entrepreneurs from marginalized communities. It's geared towards healing the wounds that specifically affect that group of people, not just artists in general, because that's pretty broad. I hope that makes sense. So I created offers around my authenticity, around things that I felt like I could teach, that I want to help people with, that I'm really good at, which leads into my next point, which is finding your niche. And this is going to help you build your products, your offers, build your business around it, grow your audience around it. But I view it a bit differently. Like when I say niche, you are the niche. You don't need to just post about one specific thing over and over. I actually advise against that. You can create a better connection and experience for your audience and the people you want to connect with, your ideal clients, your ideal friends, whoever, by doing content pillars instead. For example, mine are educational, like this one, where I will be posting more content about it too, but sharing like art tutorials, sculpting tutorials, or how to launch an Etsy shop, or how to build a business, stuff like that. And then my other pillar is mindset and healing, and alchemy with art and motivation. Another pillar of mine is personal reflections and story times. And another pillar of mine that I will begin evolving into is sound healing and ASMR and very visuals and channeled songs and stuff like that. And just things that I feel called to do that I'm really passionate about. And the niche is still spirituality meets social justice meets artwork, right? And all of these different content pillars do different things. They pull in the audience with emotional pulls or relatability or education, teaching them something, offering value, and without you feeling boxed in. And this is what I mean when you are the niche. Like, your niche is not just what you're posting, it's your tone, the way you speak, your aesthetic, the way you dress. It's you. Just be you. And that is the best advice I can give. So I started building my business by monetizing my authenticity, by creating offers around my authenticity, things I felt like I could teach that I'm really good at, leaning into my niche, leaning into my uniqueness, my authenticity, things that will make you stand out among the crowd, and by growing my audience, doing all of the things above and all of the things I mentioned. But really, I did all of this, not knowing what I was doing. I was experimenting, doing all this for the first time. No one around me no one in my immediate circle is an entrepreneur or a content creator. So I'm just like, researching, figuring it out as I go. And the one thing I can say that creates success with growing an audience is not perfection. Perfection isn't a requirement. It's authenticity and consistency. That's it. Be yourself and be consistent, and you will build an audience. Now, notice how all the things I shared are things completely from my laptop. You can film a video from anywhere, okay? You can create an offer on your laptop in minutes from anywhere. You can create a digital product in a day and list it on an Etsy shop from anywhere quickly. You don't have to wait for these things, okay? And these things also have allowed me to, create and attract money quickly. When I was abroad in Bali, I ended up having to go to the doctor and having to spend more of my budget faster than I expected. And instead of panicking, I was able to just create an offer from my laptop, list it, and I was making money that next week to make up for that doctor's appointment. You don't have to overcomplicate this. And that brings me into my next step, which is really important, might be the most important step about how I launched a fully remote business as an artist. Well, almost fully remote. I had to leave my art here. So everything except my physical art, it was virtual or digital or things I could do from anywhere in the world as long as I had a camera to film with and Wi-Fi. So some ideas for offers that I came up with to make money quickly or monthly is you can do memberships like a Patreon type thing, which I am working on. But I also am doing my very first one tomorrow, but monthly workshops where I teach people how to sculpt or do an artwork live, and also how to heal a certain thing. For example, my first one is sculpting our spirit guides. So I'm teaching people how to channel their intentions, connect with their spirit guides through art, and we're going to do it together live. And if I do one of these every month, that's consistent income. So there are just so many different options that you can make money off of your art, yourself, your authenticity. So many options available to you. And you just have to get creative with what is going to work for you. And during this process, I also have been able to be monetized. So those are some of my income streams: digital products, physical goods, monetization. Yeah, and when you have multiple streams, you don't have to worry when one has a slow season, because you have so many other options. You want to give yourself options and not just lean on one thing. And these are scalable. So as my audience grows, the income will only grow with it, okay? Now, the last step I did, this is extremely important, maybe the most important step, honestly, healing my mind. Because if you go into this as an entrepreneur, especially if you're first gen, especially if you're a woman or a person of color or from a marginalized community or neurodivergent, you are going to have a lot of outward sources, that can be discouraging. Maybe a lot of, obstacles, systemic, personal, or generational. I get it. Like, as a neurodivergent, first generation, queer, Black artist and entrepreneur, I prolonged going all in on my dreams and starting my business for a while because the world had me convinced that I was set up to fail. You have to separate society's projections and illusions and lies from your beliefs, and that's a whole different video. But here are a few of the most common, most potent limiting beliefs and generational wounds and illusions that heavily affect creatives like us. You need thousands of followers. Incorrect. This is so wrong. One, virality doesn't make you money. I had this video get 100,000 plus views on YouTube Shorts, like 10K on TikTok or something. Not $1 was made from it. And this community post with just a few hundred likes made me several sales. Virality, views, a lot of eyes on you does not equal money. Upon my research, I have heard many people say that they work with people who have millions of followers and they're surviving off of brand deals and they're not happy and they're still not making that much, whereas women with a few hundred followers, a few thousand followers are making thousands, making plenty. Quality over quantity. For example, doing freelance social media management and creative strategy for other and aspiring artists and creative entrepreneurs is one of my streams of income. And working with my vocal coach, her name is Marlena, I'm helping her gain more students, right? So that she can become a full-time coach. Now, she doesn't need 300,000 students. She needs 30 students to work full-time, right? And we can do that. You don't need virality for that. So I created a strategy for her on TikTok. A few hundred people will see your video at a minimum, without it having to go viral or anything. She has 300 followers on TikTok. And within the last 5 months, we've gotten her 8 new students. Over the last 5 months, we've gotten her 8 students, okay? On top of what the students she already had, right? At her minimum offer, $150 a month is her minimum offer for her lessons, right? So she's signed 8 students for monthly lessons. That's already $1,200 a month. It's not rocket science. You don't need thousands of things. If you have the right offers, the right price, the right ecosystem of offers and income, you're good. Now, the trouble comes with, and I still am struggling with this, is with pricing. A lot of us have trouble pricing things, valuing ourselves and our offers, and pricing and charging what we are worth. And that is going to take a lot of inner work, but that's a separate video. And I'm still working on that myself. The second one, you need to be perfect. The offer has to be perfect. The marketing has to be perfect. You have to be perfectly well-spoken and incorrect. People want to buy from a person. They want to buy from you because they like you. And people are imperfect. I had a typo on my very first listing for my digital product for months, and people still bought it. Okay? One thing about me, I'm always going to have a typo. I'm going to have a typo somewhere. That's just what it is. And it's neurodivergent friendly over here, okay? It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is not what is creating the value. You are creating the value as you are, imperfections and all, and what you have to learn and what you're teaching and what you're giving and what you're sharing. That is the value, not the way it looks, not any of that, okay? And although those things are definitely important, that is not what's going to make or break you. People are craving authenticity and realness more than ever right now. And lastly, this is the most important, is that it's not safe, or the starving artist trope, that entrepreneurship is not secure. Heads up, in case you didn't notice, we're all starving. With what's going on, the cost of living, the state, the political state, the quality of life in the US, honestly, it's just choose your hard. Choose your hard. I feel like the starving artist, myth, I'm calling it a myth because I'm debunking it by the way I'm living and embodying. And I'm getting rid of that fear in artists' minds. But the starving artist, I think, is rooted still in a capitalist 9-to-5 mindset, where it's just you have that one income stream from just selling your original artwork. When, as the model I'm showing you, you're building multiple things. You're building a fluid system that can expand and contract, and it's perfectly beautiful for women and women's cycles too. You have to open yourself up and your mind up to things possibly being easy, things possibly being, you don't have to hustle for everything, earn every dollar. Because what is money? Money is water, access to food, access to comfort. Those are basic human rights. You don't need to earn that, okay? And so we have this idea, especially in America, we are so tense about money because it's hard. That's what we've been programmed to do, But it's not, it's paper. But it's to me, spending majority of my life working and recovering from work doesn't feel safe. Sorry. And it's like the job market is insane right now. Like, I don't know. It's just becoming more and more clear to me that the jobs are not going to protect you, that the safety is that the safety that a 9 to 5 provides often is an illusion. Unless you love your 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 and that consistency and that routine and being around the same people if you're doing what you love, and you have, some income on the side. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you have your options. But it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And to me, I think it's inhumane to work that much. And that's not the point of life. We've forgotten what the point of life is. So as I was saying, the job market is crazy. You know what there will always be an abundance of? People. There will always be a market as long as people exist. People who want help, who want guidance, on something, on anything, something that you have overcome. There are thousands, hundreds, millions of people who want that insight. So to me, being an entrepreneur, creating your own money, your own system, your own business that you can rely on, where you don't have to work all the time, that feels safer to me. And I'm not being dismissive. Like, I understand how very real it is and how expensive it is here and how scary things can get and how it feels like living in scarcity and survival mode. Like, trust me, I grew up on Section 8, okay? And I'm still working towards my financial goals. What I'm saying is, it's perfectly doable and possible to succeed and to build a business. I built this all in less than a year, and perfectly messily, not knowing what I was doing, testing things out, gathering information, and I still managed to build several income streams that are just gonna grow as I keep going. So yes, this does often take, a time commitment. There is a messy middle where you're not making money or you're figuring things out. You haven't made your first sale yet. Your channel you're posting and there's crickets on your channel still. Like, yes, there are challenges, but it's like choose your heart. You cannot choose a path without challenge. But which path actually gives you the reward, the result, the life that you want? So right, I spent these last 10 months just making mistakes, committing to my dreams, figuring things out, figuring out how to market, how to create listings, figuring out how to grow an audience, figuring out how to show up authentic on camera, how to make money, how to build different offers, how to create passive income, how to create an aligned income ecosystem that was sustainable and scalable. And I've done it, and you can too. If you would like help creating a one-on-one custom plan, a custom strategy based on identifying your personal spiritual, energetic, and mental blocks, and personalized mindset shifts and creative practice to heal those, a strategy for finding your niche, for figuring out different things you can teach, digital products you can create, content you can create, content ideas, figuring out what platform to host your business on. I can help you with that because I have tried so many things, done so many things, and I feel like that is where my gift is. Like, I'm really great at spotting patterns, at coming up with creative solutions, and no matter with what you have, I built this with very little money, okay? It doesn't matter what you're working with very little money, whether you're working a 9 to 5, we can create a plan for you to start, and for you to start building, and for you to start making money and quick and working towards your goals. Wherever you are, if you have a phone to record, if you've got Wi-Fi, you can start no matter what circumstantial limitations you have. We can make a plan for you. Trust me. Creative problem solving and strategy is what I do. Like, I have created offers with $50 in my bank account and flip the script in a week. I can help you make money in a pinch, figure out what you want to do. Like, this is possible for you, and I would love to help, as well as reflect your light back to you, reflect to you what gifts I see, what potential and possibilities I see for you. That is my gift. I see the gifts, I see the timelines, the highest self that people are afraid to lean into or cannot see yet. So if that interests you, I will be launching these different offers with one-on-one meetings, peer mentorship and creative strategy, as well as ongoing peer mentorship and creative strategy in January for the new year. So 2026 can be the year that you take your dreams serious, okay? You can avoid all the mistakes that I made and have access to all the strategy, all the ways to market, ways to create your listing, ways to make your first sale, ways to edit, like all of that. You can have access to it, and you can like literally skip the 10 months and start progressing so quickly. I promise you, I believe in you. This is less than a year. Less than a year is not a long time. Do not sign up for my stuff if you're looking for instant gratification, okay? We're building longevity, we're building roots, something that can sustain you for years. And that does take time, and reprogramming and rewiring These old neural pathways and old limiting beliefs can take time, but trust me, it is worth it. So right, if that interests you, you can join my list, and when you do that, you'll be able to get a completely free creative business bundle guide. So it covers my holistic approach to building a business, and that is starting first internally with yourself, with your inner work, and it talks about subconscious resistance and blocks that generational curse breakers, first gen artists, people of color often face, and how it affects you and your manifestations and the way that you embody things and how it affects your business. And then it also will include a free quiz on how to get to which blockage is affecting you, and it also includes a free PDF. These are all PDFs, and it also includes a free downloadable of different reflection prompts, different questions every aspiring business owner should ask themselves to get to the root of what their offer is, what their niche is, what direction to go in, what they want to build. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Looking forward to meeting, chatting with you guys. That's all. Bye.